Chapter 11 of Angel Food Time, Little Talks to Little Folks by Rev. Gerald T. Brennan. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Maria Therese. Chapter 11 6 Red Roses. Last Tuesday afternoon I went for a ride in my car. It was a beautiful afternoon, and I thought I would enjoy a ride in the country. Well, I did enjoy the ride. I enjoyed it very much. Little did I think, however, when I left the house last Tuesday, that I would come back with a story. Here's what happened. I was driving through a small town on my way home when I saw a flower shop. I knew that we needed flowers for the altar, so I decided to stop. I went into the flower shop, walked around, and admired the flowers. Before I bought any flowers, the door opened, and a little boy came into the shop. The boy was about 10 years old, and he was dressed in overalls. His red hair was mussed, and his shirt was dirty. The boy carried a paper bag in his hand. "Well, young man," said the flower lady very politely, "is there something that I can do for you?" "Yes," answered the little boy, and he held up his paper bag. "I just emptied my piggy bank. How many flowers can I buy for 94 cents?" The flower lady's eyes opened wide, and she tried not to smile. "Flowers cost a lot of money," she said, "but what kind would you like?" The little fellow walked around the store and looked at the many flowers. The boy liked all the flowers, but he liked especially the beautiful red roses. "Lady," he asked, "how much are the red roses?" "The red roses," she answered, "are $2 a dozen. Now, if you want 6 of them, you can have them for 94 cents. The boy was pleased. "Thanks, lady," he said. "I'll take 6 of your very best red roses." The flower lady picked out 6 large red roses, put them in a box, and covered the roses with soft paper. "Now what do you want me to write on the card?" she asked. The little boy thought for a moment. "Please write on the card," he said, "Happy Birthday, Mother." The flower lady wrote on the card just what the boy wanted. Then she placed the card on top of the soft paper, covered the box, and tied the box with string. She didn't bother counting the 94 pennies when the little boy handed her his precious bag. The flower lady and I smiled at each other as the little fellow walked proudly out of the shop with his box of 6 red roses. Now that's not the end of the story. I spent some time in the flower shop and then went next door to buy some cigars. Then I went to another store and bought some fruit. When I finished my shopping I started for home. As I was driving slowly through the end of the town, whom do you think I saw? I saw the little boy with the red hair and overalls walking along and still carrying under his arm his box of 6 red roses. The little boy was going through the gates of a small country cemetery. Do you know that several times this week I have thought about that boy and his 6 red roses? I wish I knew that boy's name, and I hope that some day I shall meet him again, because I'd like to shake his hand. There is a lot of good in that little fellow. That boy didn't forget his best friend, even though she was dead. He still wanted to be good to his mother. It must have been hard for him to empty his piggy bank, but he wanted to make his mother happy. That's why my little friend bought 6 red roses. Each one of you must know someone who has died. Maybe your grandfather, your grandmother, your aunt, your uncle, or your father or mother is no longer alive. When that person was alive, he may have been very good to you. Now that person is gone. Have you forgotten that person already? Wouldn't you like to make that person happy? Well, you can help that person, and you can make that person very happy. How? Well, you won't have to empty your piggy bank. All that you have to do is to pray for that person's soul. You can help the souls in purgatory with your prayers, and you can even get your friends out of purgatory with your prayers. Red roses are very beautiful, but don't forget that red roses can't help the dead. Red roses will never get a soul out of purgatory. Prayer, however, will help the dead and the souls in purgatory. It may be that you don't know any person who has died. If that is true, then you shouldn't stop praying for the souls in purgatory. Don't forget that there are thousands of souls in purgatory who have no one to pray for them. You can pray for those souls, and you can get them out of purgatory. The souls in purgatory, you know, can't pray for themselves. They have to suffer for a certain length of time, and, when you pray for them, you shorten their time in purgatory. Can't you see, then, that prayers for the dead help more than red roses? I think that the little boy in the overalls has taught us a very important lesson. He has taught us to remember the dead. I am sure that the little fellow who bought 6 red roses for his mother didn't forget to pray for her too. If that boy's mother was not already in heaven with God, then the boy helped her with his prayers. One of the best ways to remember the dead, one of the best ways to help the dead, is with your prayers. God bless you, and take good care of yourself. End of chapter 11.